Hello everyone. Today this evening I'm going to be teaching you how to play the guitar. So if you are new to, sorry, I think the camera is moving a little bit too much today. So if you're new to guitar, then you should first get the hang of how to hold the guitar. So when you have your guitar, you first lay it out on your knees like this, with the neck facing towards any direction but your other side. Like you can face it in any direction, but you should always have the neck of the guitar to the left of you, which is that way for me. So, and then so if you have an acoustic guitar, there's gonna be a small bump here where that's where you put it on your left knee or right knee. I put it on my other way, right knee or left knee. I like to put it on my right knee only because it feels comfortable. If you're left-handed or if you're right-handed, it doesn't matter. But most left-handed players aren't really that comfortable with it, so it's better to be right-handed. So if you are left-handed, then you should it's going to be a little weird for you for the experience, for trying to experience how to hold, because then you're going to need to hold the pick with your left hand, but even though your right hand is supposed to be the one you strum with. But okay, we're past that. Now it's trying to teach you the parts of the guitar. So we have 6 strings on the guitar. There are 3 parts to the guitar. We have the fretboard, which is all these wooden wooden part. Here's the back of a guitar. For me, I have an electric guitar, so it looks a little different if you have an acoustic guitar. And here we have the tuners, and we have the neck of the guitar, and this is the body, like your own body. See, we have a body, but the only difference is that it doesn't have arms and legs, and it doesn't have a head either. So, okay, so now we learned the parts of the guitar. Now we're going to learn about the strings. Whenever you learn guitar, you mostly go bottom up like this. So you're just going to be in guitar, all the notes are like your ABCs, but instead it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There's no H. After G, it just goes back to A. But the thing about guitar is that each note has a sharp. So this string is called the E string, B string, G string, D string, A string, and then this is also an E string. But when you refer to the top string, you call it the low E string, because it sounds low compared to this. This is a sharp note. This is a low note. So now we learned the names of the strings. Now, what are these metal bars for? Oh yeah, the metal bars, they're the frets. So if I were to refer to the E string first fret, where would I put my finger? Here, because this is the E string, and then this is the first fret of it. Pop quiz: where would you put your finger? Where would you put your finger if I asked you to put your finger on the 6th string and the 5th fret of the 6th string? You would put it right here. And whenever you put your finger on the 5th or beyond strings, you normally have to use your pinky, because your first finger is supposed to be used for the 1st fret, second finger for the 2nd fret, third finger for your 3rd fret, and your 4th finger for, of course, the 4th fret. And hopefully you can see them, but I think you can't. So there are these small white dots here. So they represent, like, I don't really know how to explain it, but if you want to know where a fret is, like, you can just refer to these dots over here. because it's normally this is the 3rd fret, this is the 5th fret, this is the 7th fret, this is the 9th fret, and this is the 12th fret. And then you can just keep going, but you normally don't use the 15th fret and beyond. You normally don't use those. So now we're going to be, so we've done with the frets. Now we're going to know what a chord is. A chord is like playing many notes at once. Like this is called a C chord. You play the 5th string. You play the 3rd fret of the 5th string. At the same time, you play the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and you play the 1st fret of the B string. And it sounds like this if you strum it. Most times when you strum a chord, you have to strum all 6 strings like this. But for the C chord, it's special because you have to only strum the first 5 frets. But if you would like, this is you can also learn a G chord. So you can put your pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. Put your I don't know what you call this finger. I think you call this the sister finger, or the ring finger. You put your ring finger right above it, and then you put your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and you put your brother finger or your middle finger on the last string and the 3rd fret. So here now we have a G chord. This made your first chord. Hooray! After this, these are just the basics of guitar. So everything's either frets or flats, or you could call it anything. There are many notes to a guitar. And for my guitar, it has 20 frets. So if anyone, I'm just trying to, on a quiz, they might ask you, okay, how many frets are on a guitar? Well, you could multiply the 20 frets on my guitar, because I have one of those standard guitars, and then you multiply it by 6. You get 120 frets. So you can just say 120. Most of the time you'll get it right if they refer to an electric guitar. Otherwise, you would just ask them, okay, is this electric or acoustic? So that's that. Now we're going to go over how you can tell the names of the notes. So the note the 1st fret of the E string is called the F note. So then after that there's an F sharp, and then after that there's a G, G sharp, A sharp, and then you guessed it, B. But the thing about B is that it does not have a sharp. So let's keep going. B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. I know what you're thinking. Next note is an E sharp. But no, that's not the case. E string also doesn't have E note doesn't also have a sharp. That's why if this is the E string, this is called the F note, not the E sharp note. But for the G string, this is called the G sharp. So now we've talked about the notes, we talked about the frets, talked about the strings, and now we're going to talk about what these little tuning things do. Well, these are supposed to help your guitar stay in tune. You normally have to use a tuner to tune your guitar. There's sound tuning, but that's only for experienced guitars, guitar players who actually know how to play and they heard the strings many times. I'm not trying to say that I'm one of those because I've only started 2 years ago, but I'll show you what a standard tuner looks like. There we go. I found here's a tuner from the company of Korg. if you're living in the United States, which I am, you can find these at the local Walmart if they have a music and art store. So this is called a Korg tuner, and it's a very good tuner. So when we're tuning, we either tune it up and down based on the so let's tune the first note. So we're tuning in. Let's tune the E string. You need to make sure you're being very silent, or you can just plug in your guitar into the input area. Let's do that. So we'll plug it into the input. For the acoustic guitar, it won't work like that because you don't have a jack over here. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to use the jack. As you can see, the jack is right here. And then there's also this volume button and the tone button on here that are very handy. Now to put the pickup selector. It's completely different. Oh, sorry, almost dropped my tuner. So you want the E. So it turns out if most of the time it's showing in between. Okay, let's see if you can see this. If it's showing between -20 and +20, because like if you do -20, that means it's too low. +20 is too high. 1 second. So -20 is too low, +20 is too high. So you just want this little tick thing to be right in the middle. So now we have our E tuned. Now let's check out how our E is. Turns out our E is good because it's flashing the green light. Our B is also good. G is also good. It turns out our D is out of tune. D is too low. So we need to just flick it upwards, or turn it towards your right. Oh no, you actually need to turn it down. Sorry about that. It's because when it says +20, it means it's too low. That means you need to turn it a bit higher, like this. See? Now we have a perfect D. Let's get it to you and show you. Perfect D. See? Now we have our A. Our A also needs tuning. So just push it up. No, like that. You want it to get as close to 0 as possible because you always want everything neutral. You don't want it too high or you don't want it too low. Just like you want it, like if you don't want it too cold outside and you don't want it too hot outside. So now we're good at the A. Perfect. And our E, let's tune our E now. So this E needs to go a bit down. Don't push it too much down. I learned this when I was just starting guitar, because then you're just gonna go to a completely different section, and then you won't know how much ahead it is. So now we're done tuning. Once again, this is if you want to use a tuner, like I suggest a tuner called Tuner Ninja. That's what I always use, apart from this real life tuner. There's a desktop app. If you have like a Windows or PC, if you have a Windows computer, then you can use an app called Tuner Ninja. They have an extension which I like to use, which is completely free. And now we'll turn this off. So once again, it also has a certain calibration. You need to set it to 440 Hz, which is the calibration. You can turn it up and down. See, it'll start changing the numbers. Let's put it back at 440. I don't want to mess up my tuning. And then you can even, it has a tiny speaker here, which you can use to make it sound notes. Oh, I don't know what happened to that. Oh, I think it's not available right now. Sorry about that. That was just my sister. She was checking in on me. So now let's resume. But there really is nothing to resume. We're done. There are like these kind of there are hooks here where you could use to like do some weird stunts with your guitar. But that's after you learned the basics of the guitar. I have a book here. Wait, let me see where it is. Yeah, I have a book. Let me go get it quickly. I have a book over here which I used to learn my first part of guitar. It's called I suggest buying one of these. There's one at Walmart for only $6, but that was at clearance time. But who knows? Oh, if you begin guitar, you should try to follow along with my videos. I really do have a few of them. I have a few covers, I have a few solos, anything. I don't have solos, but I have covers. So do check out my channel. Um, I'm one of the newbies on channels. Like, other channels have like millions of subscribers. I'm just a newbie. I don't have any more than 100. I don't even have 100. But do check it out if you are watching. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.